Lately, I feel there is nothing to say. And at the same time, there's always something is being said. So for starter, good morning. I wish you a beautiful Sunday. You are today my company because I'm down with the flu, so you are the company for today since my germs is all around and I'm here, me and a cup of hot tea, so that's the day. So I thought I'll plug with you and see if there is something can come up and there is a use of whatever will be said. So since I'm not feeling well physically, I thought, why don't we talk about feelings? Emotional feelings. We all want to feel good, right? How are you feeling today? Type, if you are around, type, how are you feeling today? And how do you want to feel instead? And maybe why are you feeling what you're feeling? If you check in with you, you might be aware of what's going on in your body, how you can register and recognize the pattern of the feeling. We all want to feel good, but when we don't feel bad, usually we feel good. That's as much as we need to feel good, is just to not feel bad. What do we mark as a bad feeling? Is anything that creates inside of us some turbulence, or its intensity that is unknown to us? It feels it's too much. It's some sensations in the body that I cannot recognize, and it feels almost scary. So we label it as a negative feeling very often. For example, excitement and fear are very close sensations in the body. So some people have even hard time recognizing one and distinguish one from another. So let's go back to the fact that in order to feel good, it's enough just not feeling bad. What makes us feel bad? We can talk about triggers in the moment, but I want to drive home one single thought. And reminder, there's nothing new. I don't think I can offer anything new to you that you don't know. But a reminder. All you need to eliminate any negative feeling is to ask yourself, where I am not aligned with intention of the creation. It's a simple thing. Very simple question, isn't it? The source, the universe, some would call it God, some would call it eternity, some would call it absolute, some would call it whatever name you give it to it. But it's a state of mutuality. It's all before beginning, before the cause. It's mutuality, it's point zero. In mutuality, there is no positive and negative, it's zero. Zero is zero. There's nothing you can do about zero is zero. Yes? Zero is zero. So the intention of creation is this balance. As soon as we are not in balance, our negative feeling points to the fact that we are not in balance. We're out of balance. As soon as we recognize that we're out of balance, then of course the goal is to come back to the balance. And yes, we can do self-processing and work around our emotions, and childhood wounds, and do therapy, and people do. And I know it because that's part of the profession in a way. But if we learn to solve any emotional turbulence in the moment, instantly, right away, it will make our life so much easier. And we bring wisdom to our existence. So the question is, as soon as we feel something that is very uncomfortable, the question is, what thought, because thought is always a beginning of emotion. It's a cause of emotion. Thought has an energy in it. There is an image attached to the thought. There is sensation, physical sensation attached to the thought. So the question you can ask yourself, I can ask myself, where am I believing in something other than the intention of the creation? Where am I not aligned with the truth of the creation? So we don't need to do too much personal work on personality, on history, on behavior, on psychology, numerology, astrology. Nothing is really need to be done beyond the fundamental question. Where right now in the moment a thought took me away from the intention of creation, from the ultimate truth of creation that is mutual, and is really point of zero. Right now I'm not mutual. My feeling state is so animated. It feels intense and uncomfortable. Where am I taking my thought process into non-existent reality? Because a thought is always a construct. Yes? So if you join right now, how are you feeling today? You can type it up. How are you feeling today? And how do you want to change this feeling to what? So back to the fundamental question, how am I misaligned with the intention of the creation? And don't go in any complex investigation. Just simply, what thought right now am I having, or what thought led to how I'm feeling right now? What am I believing in the moment that created my feeling? For example, I feel lonely for the sake of it. Right? Lonely. A lot of people right now feel very lonely and isolated. I feel lonely, let's say. So I don't need to go through, I just broke up with my loved one, and do I find a new loved one, or my friends moved away, or my parents passed away. Sorry, someone did. Its externalities, they're valid. Externalities are valid. Yet, what we think about external or internal is just a construct. So, what belief am I having right now that takes me away from the point of zero, from mutual state of the source? And mutuality is intention of the source, original, before expansion happened. Maybe Big Bang, someone would call it, or otherwise. I don't claim to know at all what happens. What belief? I'm feeling lonely, let's say. What belief right now is not aligned with the source? Well, very, very obvious. Source is the one. There is no possibility for one and some. State of loneliness, say, I am alone here, separate from others, or from another, like if longing for your past love or something, or even longing for God. There is assumption in longing for God, it's still longing. There's assumption that I am here separate from the creation, forgetting that I am creation. I'm creator and creation, all in one, because there is only one. There's not two, not three, not five, one. So where am I misaligned with the zero, with the point of zero? Where am I misaligned? My belief tell me something other than universal truth. And you don't need to re-engineer the belief itself. You don't need to go into comprehensive investigation. Why do I believe that? When this belief came to place? None of it is needed. All is needed is to see, just to see how different what I believe right now is from what the truth of the creation is. Let's say I feel sad. Sad very often points to disappointment and loss. That's a loss. Well, everything exists simultaneously. It always existed. So where is loss? Who lost what? It's a perception error again, and we talked about it yesterday a little bit when I did a little live Facebook on self-healing. All error of perception lead to illnesses or emotional discomfort. So loss, who lost what? What is it to lose? Everything exists. It always existed. There is universal abundance of everything because the zero, nothing, is equally everything. The creation is everything. There is not this versus that, because it wouldn't be the one, yes? The source is the one source, one creation. Absolute, that's what it is, absolute. That's what absolute is. There is no beginning, no end, no absolute. Absolute is all-encompassing. It contains everything. And if it contains everything, what can be lost? What can be found? What can be gained? What can be lost? It's all errors of perception that cause us to feel lack. So if I feel loss, I feel sadness, I feel grieving, I feel longing about loss. Then I go back, okay, I feel bad. The process is very simple. I feel bad. Where am I believing in something other than absolute truth? No, not why do I believe what I believe? How this belief is formed? Where am I misaligned with universal truth? And when we look for universal truth, we look for absolute truth, not a subjective truth that depends on my personality, my upbringing, my history, my events, circumstances surrounding my life now or in the past. No. Where am I misaligned in my thinking, in my belief system, with absolute universal truth of creation? And this process, when we start this path, this process is very simple. There's some comments here. Will maybe asking something. Give me a second, please. I see comments here. See, I didn't do many Facebook Live. How do I see comments, people? Huh. I don't know how to see comments. So whatever you're asking me, I'm sorry. Huh. Okay, I'm ignorant in that sense. I need to learn how to do Facebook Live. I do Google Hangouts mainly. So forgive me, I don't see the comments, and if there are any questions or comments, I will answer later. So how to feel good is the art of learning how to not feel bad. How to not make yourself very often consciously feel bad. Now, why do we consciously choose feeling bad? It's interesting. I notice I'm often having this conversation with people that are very similar conversation in a sense. What do you want? I want peace. Huh. Are you peaceful now? No. Do you know state of peace? Yes. Were you ever peaceful? Yes. What took you away from peace? That and that happened. Okay, so we point to external circumstances as a cause for loss of peace. And you are wise enough to know that it's our reaction to circumstances, not circumstances themselves, that cause us suffering, yes? It's very simple. Now, okay, so I wanted peace, and I want peace. Ultimately, that's my statement. I want peace. I know the time of peace, and then something took me away. Well, it's not something. It's your decision to get out of state of zero, balance, because peace is balance, to expand yourself into human experience, which is not a balance. The human experience, the nature of human experience is not a state of balance. How long you notice yourself in the balance, in state of balance? For how long? Ever. Can anybody tell me that you know peace for as long when you identified as a person? If you awakened, it's another story. We can have another conversation. But if you identify with your body as a person, Olga, John, Natasha. If you identify with yourself being a person, how long do you stay in the state of peace? A moment, an hour, maybe a day, if lucky. Otherwise, we got ourselves outside of the state of balance, outside of the state of zero, because this is the nature of human experience, to experience life outside of balance. In the state of peace and balance, the experience is very neutral. There is no intensity of feelings. There is no amplitude of feelings. And this amplitude is needed for us to then compare it to the state of zero later and derive insight. So as a human evolution, if we can say it, evolution of the soul, if I start to go that direction, which again, it's a little bit, there's too many constructs on that, but let me try. In order for us to derive to wisdom through experiences, we must have experiences. Experiences always correspond to feelings because we react to every external circumstances, yes? As we react to external circumstances, we have positive feelings or negative feelings. Positive feelings don't bring that many lessons. Don't you agree? I mean, there are some, but it's this negative feeling that make us seek to move away from it. We never want to move away from positive feeling. If you are happy and joyful and loving and in love, why would you want to move away from it, right? And it's not just peace that is a state of balance from which we will move away within human experience, always. To come back to it again, to come back to zero, minus zero, plus zero, move back, bounce. So if you feel good, if I feel good, why would I want to not feel good? I mean, there are yes in it, there are whys, but I don't want to mix it now here because it's a whole separate conversation. So assumingly we don't. As soon as we feel bad, we identify our feeling and bodily sensation with negative feeling. We want to move away from it. It's uncomfortable to stay there. So there is a seeking happening, and there is more experiencing happening, which is great learning. But it doesn't mean that we have to go in those circles and keep learning hard way, because we can derive insights instantly on the spot. I'm feeling bad. Market is bad. Sad, angry, jealous, envious, feeling lost. So bad. Where my thought, which represents larger scale belief, right now is misaligned with truth, the absolute truth. Not truth of Olga, John, Mary as a person, because there is very subjective truth there. And it's subjective not only to the person, but to the moment in which person look at the truth. It's not just a matter of perceiver, it's a matter of circumstances around perception, moment of perception. Depends on what events are happening in your life right now, what reactions you have to those events. So it's not just a character, it's point of time as well, right? So, if you want to feel good, there's nothing wrong with want to feel good. We will feel bad anyways. Life will make us. It will remind us that we humans, I mean, we are having human experience. It will remind us at every single moment. It will do it. Yet consciously, we have a choice to make decision to feel good. And it goes through this point from minus state to zero, recognizing the point of balance. And then we can build up feeling good. Build up on it. Feeling good is another construct, right? We understand it, yes? The balance is zero, it's neutral. And I feel good because I put another spin, another story on it. Mostly. I mean, we can probably talk a little bit about kind of joy and love and bliss, and still there is a deeper conversation to that. Some would say that our natural state is joy and love and bliss. There is something to say about it. So I wouldn't make that statement as the absolute statement. I would right now stick to the fact that mutuality is mutuality. That zero is zero. It's not a plus, it's a zero. It's balance, it's zero. So we're going through this negative into zero by understanding the absolute truth of the state of neutrality. And then, if we want, we can create sense of expansion. And that's just so easy. As soon as we are not taken over by feelings that are overwhelmingly negative, it's very easy to go into positive. Just feeling gratitude for what we have. But it's another construct. Gratitude is just a construct too. Oh, it's so great that I live in beautiful California. Yes, it is. Or not. It's a construct. It's a beautiful construct. It's better than, oh, it's so unfortunate that I live in California. Oh, damn it is. Right. Oh, I'm so grateful I am in relationship. I'm so grateful I'm not in relationship. Everything is a construct, right? Yeah, there is opportunity to find gratitude in all of it. There is opportunity to find beauty in all of it, because beauty is still construct. It's a perception. For that, someone needs to perceive that beauty, because beauty on its own, it's just there, it just exists. But someone must perceive that beauty. So it's a construct. It's a construct of perception and mental construct, in a sense. Right? So it's very easy. So now I don't feel bad anymore because I align myself with the truth of the universe. I saw error of my thinking without investigating it deeply and going into all sort of self-processing and self-therapy, and so why and how, and then self-judgment on top of it, and just what we live right now creates that sensation in my body that feels uncomfortable, that I label as a negative feeling of some sort. Some I can recognize, some I not. Some I can track to why, some I not. But how would I believe now? Because there is always belief, fundamental belief, and you can spot it by thought. So you don't see belief in such a right way. You first construct the thought, and then it points to larger belief or belief system. And how that is not aligned with the truth. Back to, I lost loved one. So the truth, the absolute truth, there is nothing ever to lose, and there is nothing ever to gain, and love is all there is. As soon as I put it in words, the absolute truth of it gets lost in words, of course, because it becomes another construct. But if you go through the feeling of that truth, through our wisdom that we do have and can tap into, then the false fall away. Because, my belief is not the truth of the absolute. My belief is the truth of Olga in this particular moment of pain, of circumstances, and my reaction to circumstances. So my bad feeling is a pointer for my delusion, for my error of perception in relation to the absolute, not individualized truth beyond perception of hope. I think it's a great conversation for Sunday, don't you think? It's time to reflect. You probably have breakfast and morning coffee and have fantastic plans, not like me in bed with flu all day. And I could feel bad about it, but I feel fantastic because I can create my constructs. Yes? So if I feel bad, okay, I wake up. Let's go through my experience. I wake up. I feel this horrible pain in my neck. After 2 accidents, the whiplash has never let me sleep well and wake up. I broke it. So it's like, oh, it's another day of pain. Aha. The thought, right? The thought creates suffering on top of physical pain. It's like, ah, I flew. I cannot go anywhere. I'm sitting at home. I'm homebound. Homebound and sitting here alone. And there's nothing entertaining for me right now because I'm feeling horrible in my body. There's so many concepts there that create suffering. Now, if I align myself with the truth of the universe, I'm not the body. And yes, there is a feeling that what reaction to the feeling in the body, but reaction to that doesn't have to mean suffering. It is what it is. It is what it is. No resistance, no pain. I mean, pain, but not suffering. No resistance, no suffering. No resistance, no turbulence. It's just balance. It is what it is. It is what it is. There's a physical body, decay, with time. It has effects of environment, of event, and circumstances. So it is what it is. Suffering is non-existent if there is no resistance to what it is. So now sense of mutuality. Now if I want to feel good, I create construct on top of it. Now I can read whole day. I can read whole day. That's great. I can take time and blurb something on Facebook Live and connect with you guys in a way. That's great. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the fact that I can have whole day of contemplation, undisturbed and undistracted by anything. I'm grateful. So that's how the process goes. If you look at your life right now and for some reason you don't feel good, if you don't feel good, I hope you do, but if you don't feel good, my invitation is, where are you misaligned with absolute truth of the universe? This intention of creation that represents mutuality in a sense, until it expands itself through multiple human experiences. If you want, you can share. If you like, you can share. What exactly are you feeling right now? And if you follow this very simple process, where your thought can point to larger belief system entire, that is misaligned with the point of zero, the state of complete, ultimate, absolute balance. Where is that? Where are you not joy and not love just because you can be? When there is no turbulence inside, yes, we can be love, and we can share it with anybody we encounter, and we can be joy and share it with everybody who we love, and we can love anybody we choose to love. It's very different forms of love, of course. We can go into romantic, non-romantic, momentary, love forever. But we can share what every human being ultimately wants, love and connection, because it's us who create disconnection. We disconnect through these negative feelings we create and then recreate and recreate and recreate again. Recreate for ourselves and for loved ones who are near us, witness our inner turbulence and turmoil. And then those who are parents bring this turmoil in life of your children because that's what they learn. They observe us, and that's their role model. That's all they know. They don't learn wisdom. They don't learn joy. They have joy when they're born, mainly, depending on karma, we can go there. But then they learn what they observe. So you can do it for you. I can do it for me. I don't have children, but maybe you do. Maybe your loved ones do. So you can bring this simple recipe into their life. So they stop suffering. They stop creating suffering in their families. They stop teaching their children how to suffer by observation, by role models. by the whole belief that suffering exists for valid reason, and it's a good choice to choose suffering. It's not truth in any way. We can choose not suffering. We can choose mutuality. We can choose balance. We can choose peace. And then we can choose something on top of it. Intense experience of joy. Intense experience of love and lovemaking and sexual pleasure and adventure and creating abundance. Well, abundance is all there is, but creating on the personal level in form that is important to you. So my dear ones, that's what coming through me today. Cheers. That's my hot cup of tea. Cup of comfort in today's state of experiencing flu. I love you. I hope you can love yourself always. And when you don't, remind yourself what makes you not loving. And by saying yourself, I don't mean personality, person, but more life within you probably. How you create your suffering, you don't have to. Sunday is a good day to reflect. Go in the forest, or in a park, on the beach, or in bed with loved one if you have someone near you. Merge with love in any form you can. Merge with state of wonder. And state of wonder is not only something that new, it's something that can be seen in you. Go to your loved one and see her, him, with new eyes today, without the veil of suffering, the veil of hardship and all negative emotions that are reaction to life that is happening in your world. Go to your loved one and see her, him, with new eyes. Absolutely new eyes, from the point of zero, beyond all the concepts, all the feelings that come when belief system kicks in and triggers kick in. Look at them as you never met them before, or as you knew them for your entire life and beyond this lifetime. Find the depth in this connection. Find true love, not personal love that is needy and clinging and craving and pleasing and conditional. Find that love in the moment when you look in the eyes. Beyond that. Touch them as you never touched them before. Bring that love in you so intense that it could destroy the world if it could. So much energy, it doesn't have to destroy it. Hey, you can create new world. So, my dear, have an amazing Sunday. Might be beginning of great week. Bring everything you can accumulate in you that can bring you a sense of trust that you can create any life you want. And I don't mean circumstantially, because that's not that important. You know it by now, unless you're a child. If you're grown up, like myself, you have learned that circumstances, possessions mean nothing. The truth, they can bring joy for a moment, but they mean nothing. It all comes back to what I'm feeling over here, how my inner world looks like. And how it looks like doesn't depend on circumstances or people. It doesn't depend on your body, your look, your age, your possessions, your job and job description, your financial situation, your marital status or relationship status. It simply depends on choices you make about how you feel. And simply process this that I propose to you today or any other to find balance and to take responsibility for all your delusions. So, my dear, much love to you. Much love from me to you. And Talk to you soon. If something illuminated during this little reflection, while I'm having my tea, type away your thoughts, your questions. I love you. Have a wonderful Sunday, wonderful week, and a wonderful life.